Reversals seem to be the new norm in Indian politics, one that kicks in with a change of government and accompanying ideology both at the centre and at state levels. However, for the Congress party, it seems to be a first of sorts in Karnataka, where it recently swept to power with a thumping majority, dislodging the BJP government. Buoyed by that big win ahead of other assembly elections in next year's Lok Sabha polls, the Congress in Karnataka is on a withdrawal spree. The Congress government, led by Sitaramaiah, has decided to scrap the controversial law against religious conversion, fulfilling its promise of reviewing and, if necessary, scrapping the laws enacted by the previous BJP government in the state. This contentious law had become a major bone of contention between the BJP and the Congress, with the latter accusing the then BJP government of deploying it as a tool for harassment of minorities. And the changes don't end there. The Congress government in Karnataka has also decided to introduce major changes to the history syllabus in schools. They're going to remove the chapters from school history books on Hindutva ideologue V.D. Savarkar and K.B. Hedgewar, one of the founders of the BJP's ideological mentor, the RSS. These chapters were added last year. The cabinet has also decided to make it mandatory in schools and colleges to read the preamble to the Constitution of India on a daily basis. In addition, the anti-cow slaughter law brought in by the BJP government will be reviewed and amended. Plus, the government has also decided to introduce a new law on agricultural markets that will replace the one enacted when the BJP was in power. Many are wondering, could decisions on the scrapping of the Muslim quota and the hijab ban in educational institutions be next on the Congress's list? The question we're asking on the show is this: even as this tit-for-tat politics is the new normal, is the all-new Karnataka model likely to become a benchmark for Congress governments in the future? Are we witnessing a new and more assertive Congress party?
We have a constitution. If one learns to respect the constitution, that is always better to the country. Article 25 of the constitution says that any individual, a citizen of this country, can practice his own faith, his own religion. He can also propagate, right? When that provision of the constitution is there, the previous government brought an amendment to that effect, which is against the provision of the constitution. All we are now doing is just repeal that provisos which the previous government brought about, and that's all we are doing. And we respect, our government respect the constitution, constitutional provisions. That's all we are doing. We are not going to do anything extra.
We draw the bill because of the safety of the Karnataka people. So Mahatma Gandhiji, Ambedkar, they told to, in constitution also, so no conversion. So I think in Karnataka only more than 30-40 lakhs people, they converted. So that's why the BJP government in Karnataka, we brought the conversion, stopped the conversion. So Congress is opening the conversion. So Congress normally they follow Tipu ideologies. Tipu main intention is convert to Muslim. That is the intention. The Congress people when they came, they celebrated Tipu Jayanti. Now they started Tipu visions to Karnataka. So I think they want to make Karnataka one more Pakistan, mini Pakistan.
As I had committed earlier also, and we had committed in our manifesto also that in the interest of children, we are going to take certain decisions to change certain chapters, if not completely by words or sentence. Because since books have already reached the students in their hand, for 1 month there won't be a main chapter studies at all, because there will be other subjects, some revision and all those things. And after 1 month, teachers will start teaching the main languages. So what we have done is to leave a supplementary, which will not be a big burden for education department also. which will cost might be under, I'm not exactly, about 10 to 12 lakhs or something like that to reach all the teachers, because under me about 73,000 or 74,000 schools will come.
They want Muslim votes, and basically Siddaramaya's government is against Hindus. You should always know it. He is not for Hindus. So definitely whatever the things which we had done to safeguard this Samskruti, they are going to do against that. Three things they are always speaking. About cow slaughter they are speaking. Why cow slaughter? To get the vote of Muslims. They are speaking about hijab because there is some restriction. I think even they may introduce hijab by giving some right undertaking to the Supreme Court. I think so, because they had promised Muslims that we are going to bring hijab. Third thing about conversion. All this, they want to attract minority votes. They want to make everything political, politicize the things, and they are always doing hatred politics. They are doing.
All right. Let me now go straight across to my colleagues Karthik Sharma and Mohammad Wajiullah, special correspondent from Karnataka, who is here with us in the studio today to talk about just what's going on in Karnataka. Karthik, let me start with you. As I said at the start of the show, retracting what a previous government with a differing ideology has done may have become the new normal in Indian politics. But are we looking at the grand old party in a whole new avatar in Karnataka? What do you make of it?
I think the grand old party has tasted success, and grand old party feels that they can be aggressive after Karnataka win. It was not one of those wins where they could have attributed their success just to an individual or just to the fact that they kept the election local. Congress actually confronted Bharatiya Janata Party on cultural issues. They confronted Bharatiya Janata Party on polarized political issues. They, in fact, they put it in their manifesto that they're going to ban Bhajan Dal. So it's like a Karnataka model. So I think this Karnataka model is the new mantra for the Congress, the way Gujarat model became a new mantra for the Congress party, for the Bharatiya Janata Party after BJP lost the second consecutive election under the leadership of L.K. Advani in 2009. So I would say that the Karnataka model is one in which you not only win the election but challenge the policies, challenge the legislative changes made by the previous government as a departure. What did BJP do when it occupied Raisena Hill in 2014? BJP said it's not business as usual. There will be a complete departure. Obviously, it was not the revolutionary road, neither it was a Marxist government. But but when they meant departure, it meant complete departure. I think except the Labharti thing and the Narega, which they ultimately adopted, but it marked a departure in the way they ran the government. And I think Karnataka model is about that.
I want to ask you one more question before I take this to Vaji, and that is, many believe, Karthik, and you may not agree with me on this, that the Congress party fought the Karnataka election very differently from the way it has fought elections in the past. A lot has been attributed to the state leadership. Karnataka is one state where we know the Congress party has very strong local satraps who are now the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, namely Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar. Do you believe that some of these changes that we are witnessing in the approach of the Congress party has a lot to do with the local leadership, with the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, or do you believe that this is actually flowing from the top, at the center?
See, there are a couple of things. Congress party has decoupled itself from 10 Janpad, at least publicly. 10 Janpad, when I use the word 10 Janpad, I mean Sonia Gandhi, because Rahul Gandhi is not an MP anymore. He does not hold any position in organization also. So every meeting is taking place in Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. So that apart from that decoupling, the other thing which has happened with the Congress is that it has provided initiative to the state leadership. But it does not mean that the state leadership is independently reimagining Congress party. Most of the state leadership with Mallikarjun Kharge, who is a loyalist, is actually refashioning the Congress party in Rahul Gandhi's image. So when they fought elections there, Rahul Gandhi was not allowed to convert it into Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi, but most of the things for which Rahul Gandhi stand for, Mallikarjun Kharge articulated it in form of hard secularism. So I think there's a blend which has come in place.
Very interesting, you just used the term hard secularism. I'm reminded of how the Congress party has in the past, especially in Gujarat, in the previous election, was actually accused of soft Hindutva when we saw Rahul Gandhi going on a temple run and repeatedly referring to himself as a Hanuman Bhakt. Has the Congress party decided that it is going to significantly differentiate itself from the BJP? Obviously, needless to say that the ideologies are anyway distinctly different. But Vaji, let me come to you. I listed a whole lot of changes that are being brought in by the new Congress government in Karnataka, whether it is the anti-conversion law that they want to repeal, or reviewing the anti-cow slaughter law, or talking about agricultural produce changes, or dropping chapters on Savarkar and Hedgewar. Obviously, these are sensitive issues for the BJP. No surprises that the BJP is now calling the Congress the new Muslim League. But as somebody who's followed Karnataka politics very closely, what do you make of these developments?
Well, firstly, these developments that we see are not something that has just come out of the blue. If you see the manifesto, these were the same things that were mentioned by the Congress beforehand itself. So the Congress made the people of the state aware that these are the changes that we are going to do. But what we see right now is that they're going to go all guns blazing against the BJP, because they feel that the state is going to be the template for the entire country, and through this itself they're going to bring a lot of changes in the country also. And with the mandate that they've got, they've had that leverage to take this forward. Now if we see these bills that they're changing, the conversion law, what they've said is they're not going to change the law, but they're going to amend everything that the BJP has done. And these are not the only things that they're going to change. In the future, we're going to see the changes in the cow bill also. There'll be amendment in that. The entire burqa issue that we saw, the hijab issue, that is going to be addressed by the state Congress. So also the entire moral policing that was going on in the Mangalore belt, in the Udupi belt, about which we've also heard the Home Minister say, Parmeshwar especially, coming out and saying that Mangalore is a sensitive issue. They've appointed a new minister over there entirely, which is Dinesh Gundu Rao, who will make sure that there'll be changes over there. So the Congress right now is going to attack.
And if I may add to that, cancellation or at least review of allotment of land parcels to leaders of the Sangh Parivar.
Yes, they're going to crack down on everything that the BJP has done for the Sangh, BJP has done for the right-wing organizations that have helped him build that party. And if you see, because before the election also, if you see, there were right-wing organizations who were speaking out against the BJP, realizing that they are going to lose, or the shift of the state is going to move towards the Congress. Seeing all this, we also saw how Hindutva organizations were causing up to the Congress. So all these changes that we are seeing right now by the Congress is to attack the ideology of the BJP, and they're going to do it because they believe that the mandate that they've got gives them that leverage to do that. And now that is going to be the template for Madhya Pradesh, for Rajasthan. In fact, Rajasthan, if you see, the way they're trying to console the other two, Mr. Gehlot and Pilot, is exactly the same way they did it with DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah in the entire Bharat Joro Yatra. Otherwise, before that, there was a lot of infighting between two. And we see that same happening in Rajasthan. So they're using the same template in Rajasthan also. So this is going to be the way forward for the Congress for the country, for the 2024 election.
Very interesting. And remember, before the 2024 election, we also have some very important assembly elections coming up in the Hindi heartland. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. These are very important states that are going to polls, and the Congress is in power in 2 of these 3 states. Therefore, does the Congress party believe that it can replicate its Karnataka model and turn it into a winning formula in all these states. Let me now also go across to Bhaskar Hegde, editor of TV9 Kannada Digital, who joins us from Bengaluru. Welcome, Bhaskar. You know, we're talking about the whole slew of changes that are being brought in by the Congress government in Karnataka, essentially, let's say scrapping a lot of the decisions that have been taken by the BJP government in the past, and there is no doubt that a lot of these decisions have a distinct ideological edge to them. What do you make of this new assertive Congress party in the state of Karnataka, which is sending out a clear message to the people as well as to the BJP that, you know, we stand for something entirely different and we will make no bones about it? You know, there are many who are wondering if bringing back the Muslim quota, which the BJP government had scrapped, is next on the list. Is revoking the hijab ban next on the list? Do you believe it's only a matter of time?
Yeah, Neha, I think partly I agree with you, because I have to add one point here. If you see the trajectory of Siddaramaiah between 2013 and 18, it is no wonder that Siddaramaiah and his team has taken very assertive and clear stand within 1 month after assumed the power that they want to go back on all the issues that BJP did, whether it is hijab, whether it is textbook, whether it is anti-conversion law, APMC law. See, particularly this textbook issue was a very contentious issue, which was a kind of issue that one small section of intellectuals and I think minority communities were upset. So is this conversion bill was also very, very contentious with respect to Christian community, because a lot of pastors opposed in the past this particular bill when BJP passed it. I think it's a kind of part of deal, if I have to say so, that so Congress had to immediately roll back all these issues to convince and send a message to its core vote base, I think, in Karnataka. And of course, it is the kind of the message they want to send from Karnataka is that no matter what BJP does now, so we are there. If we come to power, we will undo it. That's the kind of message they want to send it to their core vote base.
Right. Karthik, I have a couple of questions for you. Number one, is this the Congress also indulging in tit-for-tat politics, given that the BJP-led government at the centre has been accused in the last 9 years of rewriting India's history, of trying to undo the Congress party's legacy, the Nehruvian legacy, as it were. In fact, just today there is a huge controversy over the centre deciding to rename, correct me if I'm wrong, the Nehru Memorial Library. The Congress is seeing red over this issue. So is this in a way the Congress, taking a leaf out of the BJP's playbook?
I think there are two things. When we talk about Nehru Memorial Library, a part of it was converted as a museum for the different prime ministers. Now what they have done is that they have renamed the entire complex as a place dedicated to former prime ministers. Congress has an issue because they feel that this place was the residence of Jawaharlal Nehru, but if you look at the historicity, it was not the original residence of Jawaharlal Nehru. Under colonial India, it was supposed to be meant for the top-ranking British officer there. So it was meant for a different purpose, which was subsequently post-independence taken over by the first Prime Minister of this country. Now, when we talk about Karnataka model, what I mean is you change the syllabus, local syllabus. You change the most contentious part, which is the provision of the cow slaughter. Not only that, you also, you start Indira Canteen. If you are done with Indira Canteen, then you say that the schemes which have been, was tinkered by then Chief Minister, will be redone. For example, when Yedurappa was the Chief Minister, he tinkered with the cow slaughter scheme. He added couple of words which made it very difficult for people to transfer the
age.
transfer the cattle from one area to another. Secondly, it is directly related to agrarian economy. Problem was that places like Uttar Pradesh, cattle is a big issue. People leave their cattle once they become unproductive. But when it comes to the issue of slaughter, it becomes an emotional issue. But the fact of the matter is that the land cannot sustain them, state cannot sustain them. They need to be utilized for whatever other purposes, whether it's leather or other things. Now, there is a political hypocrisy. You want that leather, you want that utilization, but you don't want to get your hands politically dirty. This time what has happened is Siddaramaiah has taken a position on it. I think the larger position is also, which I think is happening, which I have to quote, which gentleman from MIM, Asaduddin Owaisi, had been saying, आपको मुसलमान का वोट तो चाहिए पर उसको आप मंच में अपने साथ देखना नहीं चाहते हैं. So if parties which confess to be secular will need to shed their hesitation which they acquired after 2014, that Hindus think that they have become anti-Hindu, most of them, and they need to reaffirm the fact that what it means to be a secular in public place or a plural in public place. And it is for this reason Karnataka model becomes important, because Congress did not fall into the trap of Bharatiya Janata Party. It stood out. It did not back off from the Bhajan Dal ban issue, and it led to reverse consolidation. I am not saying that the BJP didn't benefit. It did benefit in coastal areas. It helped them.
And its vote share remained the same.
But overall, it also created a Muslim consolidation for the Congress party. So if you can have a Hindu consolidation, you can have a Muslim consolidation, you can have a Sikh consolidation. Politics works on consolidation. So in an unapologetic way, the consolidated went to the Congress party. And I think Congress has realized this. They thought in 2009, they got 21 seats in Uttar Pradesh because of Prime Minister's scheme to waive off the loan of farmers. Some people said it's because of the charisma of Sonia Gandhi. Some felt, no, Singh is King, the song they acquired. But people forget one thing. In 2008, Mulayam Singh Yadav allowed Kalyan Singh to join Samajwadi Party. Lock, stock and barrel. And under his regime, the Babri Masjid episode took place.
Yeah.
Lock, stock and barrel, Muslim vote shifted to the Congress party. So Congress understands that if it needs to do that sort of politics, it needs to provide a national space to the minorities. And I think that is also a part of the Karnataka model.
That's very interesting. Polarization obviously works both ways. If the BJP is accused of trying to polarize the electorate before an election because it is said often by observers that it works for them, well then certainly it does work also for the parties that claim to be secular, as Karthik put it, whether it is the Congress or whether it is the Samajwadi Party or Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool for that matter. Vaji, it's interesting Karthik brought up the Bhajan Dal issue, because that was my next question to you. Apart from the fact that the Congress obviously has had a resounding victory in Karnataka, maybe even surprising itself to some extent by the victory margin, apart from that, do you think it has also been buoyed by the fact that there was such a huge controversy over Bhajan Dal and Bajrang Bali, with no less than the Prime Minister himself campaigning on that issue and saying that the Congress party had hurt the sentiments of Hindus, had shown disrespect to Lord Hanuman, and the people of Karnataka would punish them. But in the end, that narrative of the BJP pushed by the Prime Minister and everybody else did not work for the BJP. In the end, we saw how the results went. It was advantage Congress. Do you believe that has sort of encouraged and emboldened the Congress party in many ways, as far as its pursuit of its strong ideological agenda is concerned?
But before I get to that, the difference between the Congress party in the center and the Congress in the state, the thing was that the state was not responding like the Congress in the center was. The Congress in the center usually was always answering to the BJP. It was the BJP who was setting the narrative. But in this, in Karnataka, we saw that it was the Congress who was setting the narrative. They were not just replying to the BJP, but they were attacking the BJP, from the PCM to everything that we saw. Now coming to the Bajrang Dal issue, that is one thing that backfired badly for the BJP, is because the state of Karnataka, at least, I would not answer for the rest of the country, but the state of Karnataka understands the difference between Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali. Because if we remember when the first Mangalore pub attack happened in the previous government, previous government, 2004 or 2005, I suppose, that time when the entire issue happened, when the Bajrang Dal workers got inside a pub and they thrashed, it was a shocking thing for the people of Bangalore, because people of Karnataka, because Karnataka is way more progressive than most of it. Bangalore is known for its pub culture and everything, but when a pub attack happened like this, the entire idea of moral policing came into the picture. And it was that time when the people of Karnataka sent pink chaddis to Pramod Mutallik. And the idea of Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali was set up there itself. And now Mr. Modi coming in and creating that narrative between Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali, it didn't work there, because people knew the difference between Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali. For them, Bajrang Bali is a matter of asta, while Bajrang Dal is an socio-political organization, they understood. So that difference they understand. And also when he was doing this jibe, the Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali, there was a cow lynching that happened over there. A Muslim man was lynched by Bajrang Dal leaders. So that was used by the Congress to show that if this is the Bajrang Bali that Bajrang Dal that they're talking about and they're defending, is that the violence that you want in the state is the pitch that the Congress pitched. So the Congress played very smartly. They did not answer to the BJP narratives, they attacked the BJP narrative, and that is what helped them.
However, Karthik, correct me if I'm wrong, and I want your thoughts on this. Wasn't there a bit of a retraction on part of the Congress? What am I referring to? Of course, Vaji is right in saying that the people of Karnataka can differentiate between the Bajrang Dal and Bajrang Bali, which is why this narrative backfired on the BJP. But if you recall, the manifesto of the Congress party said they were going to ban PFI as well as Bajrang Dal. It is that very issue that became controversial, and the BJP picked it up in a big way. But we did subsequently hear Congress leaders saying, no, there's actually no question of imposing a ban on Bajrang Dal.
There is a difference between Congress and BJP.
Did they talk it back or not?
No, they haven't talked it back. The difference between BJP and Congress is, Congress will allow that leeway, it's not BJP. This is a new BJP in which other people are not supposed to talk. Apart from 10 or 5 or 7 spokespersons, no other leader is supposed to talk. Very few leaders come out and talk. Congress on the other hand is built differently. You know, everyone wants to talk. So that structure is completely different. But what is happening is, you know, Congress has come up with an alternative economic model. It has made Labharti politics competitive. You know, it has reduced that shrill which Bharatiya Janata Party built, hum de to Labharti aur tum de to Revdi. You know, hum denge to Labharti hai, it's welfare politics, tum doge to Revdi, it is bribe. So I think Congress, one, has been able to break through that Revdi and Labharti binary. Second, it has boldly broken through that love jihad binary. Third and most important of all, it has also been able to break into another binary that, you know, the real heroes of independence have not been celebrated. You only celebrate your leaders. I'm not defending Congress. Yes, Congress had been too focused on one family, but the fact of the matter is that it's uniquely positioned in terms of the contribution to the freedom struggle. So when they are saying that Savarkar is not a freedom fighter, Savarkar is not the guy, you know, we think who is going to be important in the scheme of things, I think they are saying that your model is false. Congress had been defensive. The problem was that the Congress had been defensive for the past 8 years. So if you are defensive ideologically, then you have a problem. You know, there's a saying in RSS, they say कि road to power is laid with 3 things. तो पहले आपका आता है विचार, विचार के ऊपर आता है संगठन, संगठन के ऊपर आती है सत्ता. So the problem with the Congress was that कि वो विचार के मामले में ठंडी, weak हो गई थी. So at least they have been able to redefine their ideological structure, and then on the ideological structure they created an organizational structure, and that is why they are in power in Karnataka. The problem for the Congress had been after 2014, they were defensive, they were apologetic, and even Rahul Gandhi was not able to manage the Congress party. His whole mind was directed against taking the reins of the Congress party from senior leaders. The sad part is it has taken him more than 10 years, his learning curve, but it has happened at the expense of the Congress party. But today, after Bharat Jodo Yatra, he's a reinvented person. The way Narendra Modi reinvented himself after Gujarat riots, it became Gujarat model, and Narendra Modi was seen in a different light by people. Narendra Modi from 2002 till 2009 was a different person, and after 2009 and 10 you had Narendra Modi, different person. He was talking about connectivity, cold storage, foreign policy, will, governance. What was the statement, Baji? Small government and
minimum government,
maximum governance.
Maximum governance. So he was identified with a new style with which India should be governed. What Congress has done through Karnataka model is they are saying that this is going to be our style. So now there is a style in place. How much that style can be pushed is a different thing. That style, I think, requires one more thing, and that is some discipline and control on tongue.
Exactly. I mean, at least the two leaders who may have had a major war over chief ministership subsequently put up a united front during the election, Sitaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. That's clearly not happening in the state of Rajasthan. Therefore, we really don't know how far the Congress can go with this. Before we play out some more reactions, Vaji, I'll ask you to stick your neck out for us. Even though in the very first few days of this government, the Congress said, if groups like the BJP, I beg your pardon, Bhajan Dal, or even the RSS for that matter, cause trouble in the state, then we will not hesitate to ban them. But do you really think they will go that far?
Well, firstly, politics is also about semantics and your statements
and
rhetoric.
Yes.
So it's good to say these things, but when it comes to implementing it on the ground, it'll take them some time, because you see they've also got some vote bank shift from the BJP to the Congress also. They would not want to upset them also.
Yeah.
And there were few incidents that happened right after the election where moral policing happened. Bhajan Dal leaders were picked up, and that time nobody asked them for a ban on these people, because they knew what they were doing. They knew their set of work that they were doing before and what they're doing afterwards. Still, there was nobody who picked up that entire idea of banning them. So right now, if you see, the BJP has not planned, and if you see the statements by the leader, they continue to say that if they do something bad, if they continue to spoil the atmosphere of the state, we will surely take action against them. But will they take action immediately? I don't think anything like that will happen now.
Okay.
But in the coming few years, if things go according to the Congress's way, then they might take this bold step also.
Perhaps it may depend on how many more states the Congress manages to win and how it performs in the 2024 general election, which is an entirely different discussion altogether. Okay, let's play out some more reactions for our viewers, and then we will continue with this discussion.
Congress government in Karnataka is very promptly and diligently fulfilling the agenda of the PFI. The Congress government has repealed, or rather promised to repeal, the anti-conversion law. The anti-conversion law was aimed to stop fraudulent and coercive conversions. This is a mandate of the Constitution, and the Supreme Court in multiple judgments has held that fraudulent, forceful conversions is not in the spirit of the Constitution. By repealing this act, the Congress once again has shown that it places its vote bank interests over and above the spirit of the Constitution and the law of the land.
वो बिल वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिल था, जो कर्नाटक में बहुत बड़ा पैमाने पर कन्वर्शन करने का काम चल रहा था। स्पेशली दो कम्युनिटी का बीच में कन्वर्शन का बात चल रहे थे और कर रहे थे, उसका रोकने के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी बिल इंपॉर्टेंट बिल लाए थे। अगर वो लोग वो बिल को वापस लेना चाहते हैं तो हाउस और हाउस के बाहर भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी उसके प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे।
कर्नाटक में आप देखिए कि किस प्रकार से धर्मांतरण कानून अगर बीजेपी ने बनाए थे, उसको जो हटा रहे हैं, तो फिर हेडगेवार जी की पाठ्यक्रम से हटा रहे हैं। ये सब चीजें इंगित करता है कि ये जो पीएफआई का जो एजेंडा था गजवा हिंद बनाना, वही एजेंडा जो है कांग्रेस का है। ये सब चोर चोर मौसियाउत भाई मिले हुए हैं, समझ रहे हैं ना। तो इस देश को ये जरूरी है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी तो अंग्रेजों का ये ह्यूम का बनाया हुआ था। आज भी अब कहीं न कहीं देश को गजवाए हिंद बनाने का, देश इस्लामिक राष्ट्र कैसे बने, इसके लिए पूरा प्रयासरत है कांग्रेस और उसके लोग। इसलिए कांग्रेस को समर्थन देना, साथ देने से बड़ा पाप कुछ नहीं हो सकता।
They have to explain to the world why Baswa lesson was withdrawn, why Nehru's letters were withdrawn, and another very important issues what were there. How they were, why have they withdrawn that? When we are telling something, what wrongs you have made, they may raise some questions, but it is wrong on their part. Their moral, they don't have moral right to ask it.
Okay, let me go back to Bhaskar at this point. Bhaskar, you know, you heard Swami Chakrapani there saying the Congress party wants to turn India into an Islamic Rashtra. You know, the BJP has also hit out at the Congress saying it is the new Muslim League. The question is that while taking a strong ideological stand may have worked for the Congress party in the state of Karnataka, do you believe that if the BJP pushes the narrative that they actually have many times even in the past, labeling Congress as an anti-Hindu party, is there something that could actually hurt the grand old party in the larger scheme of things, given that it's going to face elections in the Hindi heartland in the month of December this year, and then there is the bigger one, the general election next year?
Neha, precisely the point actually I wanted to make. See, the North Indian psyche and the narrative the people accept is totally different from the south of India. So what BJP failed here need not necessarily that BJP will be, you know, on the defensive. It can be defeated in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh. It's a difficult, totally difficult this thing. So therefore, I think, see, if the more Congress government here try to push or be aggressive over this Hindu agenda, it may become kind of counterproductive in North Indian elections. That's one. Number two, what I guess at this point in time is, as a kind of playing to the gallery and you know, pandering to their vote base, they might have sent this kind of thing by repealing various laws. They sent a message to their core vote base, that is Muslims, Christians, and of course this time, of course, women in large number, no doubt. But and of course the intellectuals. I don't think the Congress government in Karnataka, they may not go beyond this, because, as you rightly mentioned, it may become counterproductive in North Indian elections.
Karthik, I want you to come in there. You know, in Karnataka, the Congress may be unapologetically, unabashedly and assertively sticking to its strong secular agenda, as it were. But you would recall in 2017, when Gujarat went to polls, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress were accused of, you know, pursuing soft Hindutva. Rahul Gandhi made a temple run. There was this constant talk about him being a Junaeudhari Brahmin, this, that and the other. Because the Congress party does realize, Karthike, that Karnataka is not Gujarat and Gujarat is not Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. As Bhaskar says, it is one thing to pursue a certain kind of agenda in the south of the Vindhyas, quite another to do that in the Hindi heartland, where you know you are anyway up against a very tough opponent in the BJP.
See, BJP has been able to create a consolidation because they feel it's Hindutva plus market plus mobile. That is New Bharatiya Janata Party. It's Hindutva, it is market plus mobile. So, and in this Hindutva, market plus mobile, you have also Labharti. So, चौथा पाया वो है. Now, Congress has decided to demolish the Labharti thing, which they did in Karnataka. Now it comes to Hindutva. Hindutva is their baby. Market and mobile are free to take away. Now, issue is, what do you do when you decide that your politics has to be in opposition to BJP? You can't compete with them on the Hindutva turf. If they have 50% of the vote and out of the 50% they are consolidating the 80%, so they have a clear majority. So you have to consolidate the 40% you have. Problem with the Congress is that they need to be at 30% mark to at least get some seats. Losing state is like losing your control over Rajya Sabha. People forget that Rajya Sabha is a sum of Lok Sabha voting and the states voting. You know, it's a sum of lot of things when the state comes together. Losing Rajya Sabha means creating a carte blanche. BJP did not have a carte blanche. Aadhaar had to be run through Lok Sabha through money bill. The matter is still in Supreme Court, not heard. One. Secondly, when we say that North India works differently, North India worked differently 20 years ago. So then Hindutva was not strong. Hindutva has become a strong agency in Uttar Pradesh. But the same Hindutva failed in Bihar, same Hindutva failed in Rajasthan, same Hindutva failed in Chhattisgarh, same Hindutva failed in Madhya Pradesh. So the power of Hindutva also failed in Haryana. Why? Because JJP came there. Power of Hindutva did not work in Punjab. Hindutva worked very well in Gujarat, but Gujarat, the Congress has not been able to take care of the social semantics where the upper caste has not been voting for the Congress party because of the reverse polarization which Kham created. So that's a different debate altogether.
And that's anyway the original Hindutva laboratory.
So that's a different debate altogether, that because of Kham, the social structure or the people who are powerful in social structure like Patels and upper caste, they left Congress for good. But wo dusri debate hai, and Congress has not been able to rectify that. But if you leave Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, every other place BJP has lost elections.
No, but I want to flip it very briefly. You are saying Hindutva has not worked in many of these states. Can the Congress, however, afford to be painted as an anti-Hindu party in these states, because that is what the BJP will try and do?
Then it entirely depends on the fact that how do you use the word Hindutva. Are you conflating the word Hindutva with Hinduism, which RSS does?
The BJP has done that successfully in the past.
RSS wants to conflate Hindutva with Hinduism.
Yes.
It's semantically different. It's an academic issue, because popularly they can say if Hindutva is Hinduism, to oppose Hindutva or to oppose what they call Hindutva, you stand to be anti-Hindu. So I think it's a political tool like love jihad. Hinduism in itself is different, so it becomes very easy for any RSS leader to say Hindutva का मतलब ही हिंदू होना है.
But Karthik हुआ है ना, उन्होंने argument किया है, and it's worked also for them many times.
उन्होंने किया है, बिल्कुल किया है. But then Congress needs to decide how they want to do their politics. Do they want to do the politics on Labharti issue? Would they like to do their politics on the bedrock of the samudaya? कहने का मतलब है बीजेपी कहती है हिंदू कंसोलिडेशन वर्क्स बेटर देन ब्रेकिंग द कास्ट बिकॉज कांग्रेस वर्क्स ऑन द कास्ट वी वर्क ऑन कंसोलिडेटिंग द कास्ट बट व्हेन इफ यू वर्क ऑन द कंसोलिडेटिंग द कास्ट इट रिक्वायर्स एन अदरिंग एजेंट व्हिच इज लव जिहाद. सो आई मीन टू से कि इसमें कोई साफ पाक नहीं है, इस हमाम में सब दंगे बैठे हुए हैं. अगर कोई जाति पे चुनाव लड़ रहा है तो दूसरा अदर करके भी चुनाव लड़ रहा है. तो मेरे लिए अगर पॉलिटिक्स में बात की जाए तो ब्रॉडली व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, ब्रॉडली Congress will need to get its act together to cross 35% marks, 35 to 36. 28% will not work, 38% has to be required. And secondly, अभी तो दिल्ली दूर रास्ता है, पहले आप लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन तो बनिए लोकसभा में, तब बात की जाएगी.
Absolutely right. Vaji, you are a guest from Karnataka. I'll give you the last word. Look into the crystal ball for us and tell me this. Yes, the Congress party is being very self-assertive right now, but do you believe the political scenario and dynamics of the state could change after the 2024 general elections? A lot could happen between then and now, because right now the Congress is fresh from its big victory in Karnataka. It faces multiple tests ahead, starting with the state elections in the Hindi Heartland going all the way up to 2024. Do you believe the outcome of these elections could have a bearing on how the Congress does its politics in Karnataka going forward?
Well, what Karthik said is very important, because it is important for Congress to win states right now, because it has a bearing on your Rajya Sabha. Now, to give you an example, when AIDMK was in power in Tamil Nadu, all the Rajya Sabha seats were with AIDMK. Now, when the DMK is in power, all the Rajya Sabha seats is with the DMK. When the BJP was in Karnataka, when they were in power, all the Rajya Sabha seats, most 25 seats went to the BJP from the 28 seats. Tejasvi Surya, who we heard, also won because of that entire wave. Now, if they continue to win election like this, then yes, there would be a bend in the entire structure of the Congress. Congress will get that ray of hope that they were looking for the last 8 years in this. Now, what really worked for them, what they actually have to right now do is the mistake that the BJP did. Now, the mistake that the BJP did in Karnataka was they did not listen to the local leaders. They did not, all the decision making was happening from either RSS office, we've heard BL Santosh, and other central
and a lot of talk about Yediyurappa being sidelined.
Exactly, Yediyurappa being sidelined. The local leaders were crushed. They were not given a chance to give in their ideas or to allow them to decide on what they should do for their constituency. It was decided by the centre, and that's not what the Congress did. Congress gave that leverage to their local leaders and said, you decide, you are the best people to know what should happen in your state, and that is what helped the Congress. And when we were covering the election, we heard a lot of them telling us that the central Congress should actually learn from the state Congress on how to win election, because the way they had organized the entire structure, it actually helped them to win in 130 seats.
Like I said, perhaps you know, exceeding their own expectations.
The last, I think we saw Virendra Patil win that in Karnataka. After that, we didn't see anybody get that position. So that is something that the Congress has to continue doing if they want to get a good majority in 2024.
All right. So, like I said, multiple tests still await the grand old party in the form of these state elections that are coming up in the Hindi heartland, and of course, the big one next year, 2024. A lot, as I said, could happen between now and then. 1 year, of course, is a very, very long time in Indian politics. But on that note, I'd like to thank Bhaskar, Vaji and Karthik for joining me on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. Thanks to the viewers for watching.
Which side of the centre are you on?
I doubt that Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal can do any good to this nation.
Why did you opt for this Rajya Sabha seat?
It's the election. And in an election, either you win or you lose.
But you're not used to losing.
I'm a good loser.
Somewhere I feel you're both a creator and a destroyer.
Subhash Chandra was not even known in the